Hey everyone, how you doing today? Well, I got this new MCRN starter CV done. I ended up calling it Pioneer. I'm not sure if I'm totally thrilled about the name or not. I was thinking about other things as well. Uh, Believe it or not, freelancer came to mind, but I didn't want anybody to necessarily relate that to the freelancer in Star Citizen. Um, but I wanted to have a name that was somewhat like, hey, this is a starter CV kind of name. So that's where I came to that determination with. But what I'm actually doing right now is stress testing it. Let me just show you where the ship is at. Um, So here is the hanger all done up, and I tried something a little bit different with the LCDs again, kind of angling them a bit like the Draper, but higher up, so it's more visible when you're actually on the floor. What I did with the storage currently is I loaded up both storage bays to pretty much full, 239,000 out of 240K. So that is both of these guys. I guess I don't have the ammo controller all the way full or even close, but I've got a lot of rounds of 30 millimeter bullets in there right now for the 5 cannon turrets that this comes stock with. Now, cost and everything on the ship for final specs, 2 hours and 22-minute build time, requires no rare resources. Doesn't come stock with the shield or offline protection or a armor repair. Um, but definitely has spots for all that fun stuff. So also I kind of put in like a bit of a information LCD in here too to tell you what my initials mean for certain things and where they go. Like for instance, shield and offline protection um, get placed in engineering just for the heck of it. I'm going to place that stuff too. Might as well while testing it here. So we got a T2 shield, and then we need some offline protection. Here, let me get my menu back on here. Don't mind the broken leg and mutilation. I'm very typically messed up in survival. I cured myself a couple times, and then when I spawn in again, I fall and break a leg or get mutilated or something like that. So it happens. Now I'm scared to go out of God mode because I'll be all screwed up. But anyway, this is the crew quarters area, and this yeah, not a whole lot here, but I think it's roomy enough, and it's got what it needs, and a couple little bunk beds up in the top there, and it looks like I'm missing a texture here or a color. Yeah, I've been finding little things as I go, just trying to tweak things out just a bit for the final update. Like I caught that I didn't have the back door ramps connected to a sensor, so I just updated the blueprint right before this video. Um, in the bridge area, I put in 4 switches. Basically, you have a heavy lift mode, your main thrust power, ground defense, which basically turns on the retractable turrets. So with that on, you have all 5 turrets operational essentially, and then exterior lights. It doesn't have too many sophisticated options in here, but I thought about putting in a shield switch, but I didn't have a lot of room, and it doesn't come stock with a shield, so I thought that might have been a little kind of pointless. But as in placing a shield, you can actually do it from right up here too. So maybe slop in a shield real quick and slop in offline protection. Oh, as in the rest of the tour of the ship here, there's not too much left. You have your small engineering area here, and then going up the elevator or taking the stairway from the bridge, you have a 27 grow plot farm. Put in a little switch here to turn on and off the grow lights. But what I'm actually doing at this point in time, besides just kind of showing where the ship is at, is stress testing it. I got to know for a fact that with everything loaded on here, and what I also did is I parked on several SVs and HVs. So up on the top here, I've got a Skiv CT3 and a Talon T2, and inside a Ballista T4 and a Mole. So we've got 4 HVs and SVs on the ship, as well as pretty much full cargo. The only thing that's not quite full is the ammo. But the big question is, and of course I do have the heavy lift mode on right now, how does it fly with all this stuff in weights and volumes? Well, it takes off. It's definitely lost a lot of speed, but it's moving, and I'm happy about that. So it is still functionable with like pretty much just completely loaded with everything, including pentaxid. I mean, I got everything in this ship right now, except, like I said, I could definitely put in more ammo, but I don't think that should make too much of a difference if that was full. But yeah, it works yet, and I can take right off and fly up into space or whatever I want to do. And overall, after a lot of time and tweaking and effort and, you know, figuring out thrusters and how to get the CPU right, and kind of like the complete rebuild of the ship from where I started, I'm pretty happy with it at this point in time. I think it actually does everything that I would want a starter CV to do, and then some, really. I didn't really expect to have a fully operational shield at T2, but this ship does. In fact, do I have that on right now? No, we're going to turn that on and give it a power test as well. So now we got the shield charging, and it gets to about a maximum of about 56% power usage with the shield charging. So that's pretty cool too. So overall, I think it's going to work out pretty good, and for a potential Alpha 12 playthrough, this will probably be my CV that I'll go for a starter. And I was thinking about it. The only things that this doesn't have stock is the repair bay, and it doesn't currently have a bunch of different medical items in it. Now that could be added as well. For some reason I thought they required rare resources while I was skipping them, but I might investigate plopping those in possibly in the crew area as well, if I can like get a corner and get that situated decently. Let's see if I can make a successful landing or not. Sometimes, once in a while, you know, when I do land, it does turn off the thrusters, even if I'm a little bit not perfectly flat. Yeah, like it did now. No, it didn't. I just stopped hearing the sound. But anyway, if you actually hop out and you turn off this will actually turn off the heavy lift mode as well. At that point in time, you get, not sure why I'm seeing a 20-minute left on fuel. Oh, maybe that's because the shield's on. Is the shield sucking the fuel? Yeah, there we go. The shield is sucking the fuel. Look at that. Now I'm up to 1,075 minutes at 91, or at not with a full tank. Oh, and something's coming in at me here somewhere. Looks like the cannon turrets are shooting it down. So anyway, that's pretty much what I wanted to show today. One last thing here, get a little bit more light, is I did put out a in the post I have this, which is friends only currently for the proto version here. I did put out an alternative color palette for it, and that is, let me get a little closer. Oh, do I not have that? Oh, I don't have that in this mode. Son of a gun. Or do I? No. Sorry, I was going to show you that. I have a picture of it on the post, and it basically shows it recolorized to the kind of a white, gray, black theme instead of this MCRN theme. But yeah, overall, I should have this out this weekend, I'm thinking. I'm not sure Saturday or Sunday, but pretty soon. And I think at this point in time, it's pretty close to being ready, and I'm glad everything works on it. I'm glad the thrust work. It can move with its weight. It can move with a bunch of stuff on it and weight. So I think it should do everything. Um, Everything I would want one of these guys to do. But yeah, that's it. So if you're curious on this ship, it should be on the workshop soon, and hopefully it does well for what it is. I mean, being a starter CV, being actually slightly cheaper than the Wayfarer, um, with more functionality, I think. But the biggest sacrifice is it does have less docking space than the Wayfarer, but it's not bad. Obviously, I can easily fit 4 different vessels on here. It's a little tight on the top here. I guess I could probably pull that up a little bit further if I wanted to. But this is a little bit bigger, longer SV as well. But the other one's quite small. But yeah, no problems with the ballista fitting in here either, and a miner on the side. And if I had some other small HV, I could probably park that up here too. But yeah, pretty happy. It all came out. It was quite a bit of work building this ship, more work than I thought it was going to be again. Probably my next side project besides the big ones like the Creel tripod and the space carrier, I probably want to get to building a Creel starter CV as well. And lessons learned from this one will hopefully make that one go a little bit easier, so I can have a better idea on how much thrust I'm going to need versus how much weight it has and things like that. But yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with this, and comparing it to the Wayfarer, which is, like I said in past videos, kind of my go-to, like, hey, I think that was the best starter CV I built to date over the Nomads and over the Cosmos and whatnot. And all I got to say is, yeah, the Wayfarer is definitely more of a box. Doesn't have the looks and feels of the new ship at all. I don't think the crew area is as nice. Its only real advantage is the fact that it has a more larger hangar and larger landing pad over this other ship. But cost-wise, no. Defense-wise, no. Storage, no. And the Wayfarer, you have to upgrade to a tier 3 ship to add a shield, where this one you do not. So I think all around, I think it's technically superior over the other ship. And it feels better too. I like the interior layout better myself too, with the crew areas and the little farm, and how it kind of feels a little more homely and realistic, I would say. Less like a freight hauler and more like a actual ship. That's why I thought the name Freelancer was fairly appropriate too, because you know, it's kind of like that. It's like, hey, you got a small, fairly inexpensive ship that really can do just about everything, and explore the galaxy, and, well, in this case, some solar systems. But yeah, pretty happy. Anyway, you all have a good day. Hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, let me know. And this is available on my workshop currently as friends only, and it's just the MCRN-Pioneer Proto, with now fixed rear ramps that open up with a sensor. So that was something when I first put it out, I realized I forgot to set those. But I didn't make any other changes, sort of that texture you just see me do there, which I'll probably update the ship again to fix that and look it over one more time. Anyway, y'all have a good day and a good weekend. See you later.